We're good to go.
All right. All right. Hello and
All right.
oh my God, you ruined it. Hello and I didn't miss you. Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Nerds and Words. I'm going to be your host today, and I'm joined by the prestigious Moreland TV.
Hello.
And the sometimes punctual Potion Shop TV.
It is I have returned.
We have a little bit of BDO news. I think we're all being a little bit held hostage for the Kelfie on ball that has been delayed, but we'll get into all that. Regardless, though, we've got some BDO stuff to go through, and for the first time in quite a few months, I think the lot of us here are excited about a new game. If you follow Tim Allen or Moreland, you've already know what it is, but we'll get into that later. First, I know Potion Shop has had some PC issues, and we were speculating before you got here, or while you're restarting, very interested to hear what you've been up to. First, what was wrong with your PC, and then two, what you've been doing without a PC.
All right, so my PC problem was I left it on overnight, and I came back, and one screen had a blue screen, and the other one said it was 11 p.m. And it was definitely not 11 p.m. because there was the sun outside. So I was like, all right, what's going on here? And it turned out that I could restart the PC. Everything worked fine for about 15 minutes, and I went to go and do like a video render or something. I forget what it was. It was something I was going to do like that required a little PC power, and the PC is blue screened again. And so, and it went from 15 minutes to 10 minutes to 5 minutes. And every time I restarted, it just got shorter and shorter and shorter. I eventually turned the PC into safe mode and started disabling stuff. I got I would say I got the majority of my files off the PC. I lost half my photos because while I was moving them, the PC crashed. So I lost about half of the pictures and stuff on there. So all my images and stuff I've used for the stream and everything, they're all gone. So I got the majority of this stuff though, and right now I'm using an old PC. It doesn't have wireless internet, and where I'm currently at, I have to use wireless internet. This is not really an option for LAN. So because of that, I had to get a wireless adapter, which took some additional time. My other PC is already on Wi-Fi, my gaming PC. So that still works, and I didn't feel like setting up OBS 3 times on my old PC, my new PC, and then on my my third PC, right? So I pulled a PC out of the closet. I've been keeping it. I guess 2 years ago, I won a Alienware PC from Cow Games. That was what I was using for my stream PC, and it died.
That died?
Yep, that's the one that died. Out of all the PCs, it died. The Alienware died. Yep.
Wow, dude.
So I pulled my old PC.
Sabotaged you,
bro, and it doesn't even play Black Desert. I can't even play Black Desert on it. So anyway, I a little disappointed that my newest PC was the first PC to die, and my best PC was the one that died. Kind of unbelievable to say the least. How that PC has been the bane. Has had so many problems over the years. So anyway. I have my old PC. I pulled it out of the closet, hooked it back up, and I got a Wi-Fi card. Right now, I have my cell phone literally connected to my PC through USB, and I'm sharing the internet through USB to my PC with tethering from my phone. So that's how I'm here today, and it's kind of how I've been like getting by the last couple of days. So I can't use my phone for anything. So my family was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, I have no idea what you guys are up to anymore. Like, I can't look at my phone and use my PC at the same time. So anyway,
that's a good excuse. I'm gonna start using that one.
Well, that's exciting. Have you read any books?
Well, my main PC still works. And so I've been playing some Destiny 2 on that. I also got my music album finished up, my second music album.
All right.
It's been submitted to the distributor, and it should be available. My goal is December 7th. I think it's going to be a little late, just because of the time frame I gave them to approve it. But that should be out sometime next month anyway, and that'll be another 20 songs. And I think this album is better than the last one, so I have high hopes for it.
I couldn't believe it. The last one was too good. There's no way you could better yourself.
I think the thing is, there's a few songs that definitely stick out in the last album, and I think now they're almost all at that level. The majority of them are.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't say necessarily better. I just say that they're all the same good quality now.
The first
I think
couple
that's
are
a better way of thinking.
bangers on the first album.
Same genre.
Yep, same genre. The first song is a real big. It's like more hype than the previous songs, but the other 19 are all the same tempo. Good background music. So I think 19 of them will be the good background music that are good for streams. I also equalized the volume out, so you don't have to worry about some songs being really loud and some being very soft. And that was something that I noticed in the last album that annoyed me. So I tried fixing that.
Hmm.
I'm already starting to work on a next album, and it's going to be the theme is going to be Lunar New Year. So Lunar New Year in 2021 is February 12th. So I plan on releasing kind of like an Asian low tempo album for that, and we'll see how that
Thank you
goes.
for calling it Asian.
Are you gonna name it Port Rat?
I should name one of the songs Port Rat.
That'd be perfect. Hasso, 4 letters. I guess rat is also 4 letters, and port. You could have 3 songs: port, rat, and Hasso.
What's your fee, Moreland?
My fee?
Yeah.
For naming songs, I need how much I owe you now.
Yeah, that's true. You do owe me. I'll take 65% of your revenue from the album.
Well, that's not a whole lot. The last album I think is made about $75, and I spent about $1,500 on it. So
Hell
whenever
yeah.
we start making some profit, then I'll hit you up.
Sounds amazing.
So have you made that money through Spotify or like YouTube and Spotify?
That money is exclusively been through Spotify.
Wow, that's cool.
I don't
Really,
make any money. I don't make any money on YouTube.
I didn't realize Spotify paid like normal people. I thought they only paid if you like had a licensing or something.
Well, it is almost impossible to get your music up on Spotify. You have to go through a lot of legal hoops, and there's a 3-week approval process. It has to be all original music. So it's a big process. I think for me, I use CD Baby as my distributor, and that's about $80 to get an album put out through them. And that's just to submit it to them.
I want to make an album. That sounds dope. You did 20 songs in like a month.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of work, but yeah, you can do it if you have money and time.
I've got one of those things.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I don't know. It's given me some time to like reevaluate where I want to go with my stream, and time to finish up the album and stuff. So it's been good.
Cool. How about you, Moreland?
Give a release date.
It's supposed to be December 7th. If they don't approve it by then, it'll be sometime probably middle December.
Sweet. Just in time for Cyberpunk.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for asking, Tim. My week has been full of just angry people in the desert yelling at each other mostly and hitting each other with sticks. Talking about Last Oasis. We just started season 2. Was it out last week?
It came out Sunday.
Okay, so it was just about to come out. So yeah, so we haven't had a chance to talk about it at all. Yeah, I've been doing like 16-hour days on Last Oasis, building bases and picking fights and getting griefed and all that good stuff.
How good is it now? Like, just you can talk about it more later, but like, is it better than it was before?
Yeah, I think it's significantly better. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's like worse than last season. They got rid of a lot of stuff that favored Zergs and made it a lot friendlier towards like newer or more casual players or like smaller groups.
All the respawn changes,
but also the map. Yeah, also the map is way smaller since it's got a lower population now. So you can't really like hide as much as you could before, but with the new mechanics, you can kind of stay safe from gankers, although yeah, it's definitely, there's no hard tiles yet. So for the first week, it's definitely been a lot of people just like running around looking to start shit for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that sounds good. I had so much fun with that game originally, and looking forward to picking it up again.
yeah. I was thinking about you. So I've joined Moreland. We both woke up early on Sunday to be there right at release and get to the grind. And I think I put in 40 or 50 hours by like Monday or Tuesday morning or something like that. Like, just crushed it out. So I've been doing my best to try to keep up with that. I played a little bit of BDO this week too, but that's the original. My microphone on my headset just sounds like the worst distorted
Oh, I completely forgot about
piece of
that
shit.
monster.
He's so happy with himself when he uses this microphone.
I didn't know how seriously we were gonna take this or how much it was gonna like be fun or like a long-term thing. And then like Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was, we all kind of went, yeah, let's like actually fucking play this game. So I have switched to my normal microphone, and I've been being nice to people on our home tile, and people have been being nice to me and stuff. So it's been working out. But there's been some pretty crazy PvP that some of it I've missed, and a lot of it I've been there for. But most of it has been me defending myself against accusations of petty theft from other people's bases.
Yo, Nomad Cloth is not petty, dude. That's felony. That's grand theft. Grand theft Nomad. All right.
I did not steal the fucking
The
Nomad
authorities
cloth.
are coming for you.
I didn't steal the Nomad cloth.
There's a shitload of people fishing in Heidel.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did a Thanksgiving fishing event.
Doing Portaferia, where I'm fishing, but I live in Calpheon. So.
Is it abundant there?
Oh, I didn't check before I left. Probably not. Almost certainly not. So yeah, that's basically what I did. Oh no, it's not. I actually went for pen neck twice. Was that last week? Or this week? I think that was this week. Anyway, I attempted pen.
Yeah, I think you did that last week because you were saying that you got it in less than X amounts of silver. You were very happy with your double tap.
Yeah, all right, that was last week. It must have been just right before the podcast. But so the grind for that continues. I haven't done a whole lot of grinding this week. I tagged a suck wizard, and I've been screwing around in RBF with that. Had somebody teach me kind of the basics of it. I don't love it. It really just makes me want more AP, because every time I get hit by a suck wizard, they've got like 300 something AP, and it does a lot of damage. And then when I hit him with my 284 AP, it's like, nah. So
really, 284 isn't enough to get it done on that class?
Not anymore.
There's a lot of geared people. The way RBF works, though, that gives you that like weird DR when you burst them.
Extra bonus.
Oh, yep, true.
So, like, playing Succession Guardian is way more satisfying to me than playing Suck Wizard. But I'm sure a Node War would be, it'd be popping. So, Last Oasis is fucking up my sense of time. It really is. I've played so many video games this week. It's actually insane.
Yeah, I have no idea what day it is or month it is or anything like that.
It's been lost in the Oasis. So yeah, that was roughly my week. It's good to be here. It's good to see you again, Potion.
Hey, it's good to be back. I feel like I've been gone for so long now. I'm just happy to have something that feels normal back in my life at this point.
I thought you were gonna shave and stuff, find Jesus, all that, kind of crazy stuff.
All right, found Jesus. We're good on that one.
Where was he?
Oh.
I don't know. Like, I'm just happy to be here. Do you want to jump right into the Black Desert News?
I want to ask you more personal questions.
All right, one more.
Oh shit! What size are your shoes?
10.5.
All right, let's do it.
Whoa, and a half?
Yeah. Well, every half counts.
Is that because they're too long to fit in a 10 or too wide to fit in a 10?
Too long. I don't know about. I think I have like average feet.
See, I've got a width problem. My feet are basically like squares, giant waffles.
I do too.
Hairy waffles, yeah.
Mine are 13 in length, but like 14 in width. I really can only wear like Nikes and stuff because they're a little wider.
So
I can see how you would run into some problems finding some shoes there.
I just wear flip flops. It's okay.
Same. All right, so BDO, thanks for the personal question. I always love those.
So BDO, they've been kind of slow this week. They added some new titles for monster grind spots. Let me see if I can find out what those were.
I love new titles. I hope they do more.
Yeah, I
They
think
need,
grinding it's this way to show off like you've
they're
been there
still
for a
being a
while.
little lazy about it though. There needs to be some like very outstanding titles that everyone, because even like some of the sicker titles in this game, like I don't know what some of the older ones would have been, but maybe like Hero or like some of the top History titles or something. You only knew what those were if you were someone who grinded History a lot, right? Like 99% of the players still had no idea what the fuck that title was. I think it'd be cool if they took it a step further and added like some more colored titles or some titles that were like, prestigious that everyone in the game like sees that and knows like, oh shit, I know what that is.
Yeah, like I don't know, like a leaderboard type thing, right? You kill the most monsters in Serendia, you get the Serendia grinder title.
Yeah, there could
Could you
be there could
imagine?
be dependent ones. That would be sick.
I bet it won't be retroactive though, so I want to be the king of Medea for all my sauces I killed, unfortunately.
I'm a oh, God. I'm, it only took how many minutes to um welcome back. I always wear Shell Addict from the time that I spent like 5 hours grinding grass beetles to try to get to 63. So that's my favorite title. I don't think I'm ever going to change it.
Yeah, it
Idiot
looks like
title's pretty good. I think that one's from Centaurs.
What?
it looks like most of these are like the higher end spots and the newer grind spots. So it's like Odalita, Gyfin, Paddocks, Sakraya, Banded Monastery. So it's basically the new ones and some of the high end spots that they missed.
Did it mention if they like keep track of how many of those mobs you already killed? Because I think they probably do, but I wonder if it counts towards the title or not. Like if you can go kill one of those mobs and get a title pop up. Did that happen to anyone?
Let me see if I automatically got it on my character. Because I've killed a lot of these, and I should just, if it's going to be automatic, I would have them.
Chat says it does not.
So
What?
You got to start from scratch.
I didn't see any that like jumped out at me like I want to have that above my name. Like Basham's, you get Naughty Boy.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's a good one. There's no Naughty Boy or Naughty Girl on this one. It's just like questions. Why do you want to put a fucking question above your head? On my life skill character of Guardian of the Coastal Cave. Like that's a title.
They have Pirate King.
Not like will you touch my pie or something. Like that's what all the new ones are. It's just like they don't make any fucking sense.
They're just trying to make him cute or something.
Yeah.
They have some like okay ones. They're not perfect. They have like Pirate King. They have Dragon King of the Sea.
Okay.
Let's
Everything's
see.
king. Lots
Hex's
of king
Curse.
titles.
I want one that says Harbinger for like Star's End. I think.
Are you a believer?
Yeah, like that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of them are a little weird. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Okay, I like that.
My
one.
title is Nibbler Enthusiast, and I'm just not sure if I'm ever going to be able to top that.
Dude, Shell Addict all the way. Show the people how many grass beetles you've killed. Anyways.
Yo, they have a double A title in here. You can poke fun at Black Desert now. It's not a AAA game. It's only a double A game.
Hmm.
What is the difference between the third A?
Shows up
It's
higher in the
I guess
phone
the
book.
amount of money you spend on it, I guess. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like you have indie and then you have number of A's just resembles how much money it represents for your company to spend on it proportional to your company. But I don't really think it means anything to gamers anymore. It's
I feel like there's indie and there's AAA and nothing in between, like to gamers.
Yeah, I think that's true. The other thing they had here is they added a new Black Rust spot for over at Port Rat. So, and it's interesting because there's like a swarm of Black Rust that come around, and you can like kill a swarm of them. It's like a pocket of like 5 or something. It's not like just one by itself anymore. So it's interesting. It's like a slightly updated way of hunting Black Rust.
They're
But
trying to
I'm
make
not
it
sure
like a
if it's
group
any good.
activity, right?
Yeah, I think that was the idea. I think you can do it with like 2 or 3 people or something. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you're gonna have party content on the ground, then you need party content on the ocean too.
suppose.
I mean, it all comes down to profit, unless there's a rare item that drops there.
I had a wild hair to start bartering while I've been playing Last Oasis, but then the fishing event came out.
Bro,
If my computer could actually handle running both games at once, I'd be probably way more into bartering right now.
I used to put it on my laptop and I'd use the integrated graphics, which runs on your CPU. And then when I put in a trade, run like 2% CPU, no GPU. I think that's the most efficient way I could figure it. I can never figure out how to get it to run on my CPU when I was minimizing it on a computer that had a GPU though. I don't know. Let's see. They also reworked the Belnos quest. So apparently this is like Kron Castle now. They made it where the Kron Castle portion is another quest. And then once you complete the Belnos main storyline, you are then redirected to Velia instead of Serendia. And you have to run around the random points and see the beauty of Velia before you're allowed to go to Serendia. So
Yes, beautiful Velia.
yes. Not like you won't be enhancing all of your gear for the rest of the game there or anything.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is kind of sad how like the whole Balanos region is barely part of the game anymore, right? Like other than enhancing in Velia. I mean, that whole I remember getting into the game and starting in Olvia and like fighting the Steel Imps on the way to Western Guard Camp and all that shit. Like, I don't think any of that shit gets used anymore. It's all just like, I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of think they should from that bridge of Western Guard Camp over to Olvia, they should rework that and added like a averagely high end grind spot there. Just for some reason to be in Belanos, and doesn't have to be super. Maybe like a Polyforce type grind spot or something, Just some reason to kind of be there for some players.
And give the territory a grind buff.
Yeah. Yes, it needs 50% grind buff for sure. I don't.
Ilia Island, Super Steel Imps, Hadoom Steel Imps. What do you guys think?
I think they'll do it. Yeah, probably Kron Castle as well. Probably do Kron Castle.
That's actually funny because remember Kron Castle used to be a really high level grind spot, and then
I never understood why they made it go from 50 little mobs back down.
It was back when the game was way smaller, and so the world wasn't in this linear point A point B kind of path. It was like a loop that went around, and you had different pockets that were high level. Kron Castle was kind of one of those where you would go back.
Dude, I used to use the power level because the mobs there were like the best. Like they had super low evasion, so you could go there at like level 40 and like whacking the mobs a couple times, and they'd get one shot, and you could level up to level 52 there. I used to do that a little bit. I don't think it was like the best way of like leveling up, but I enjoyed it.
Hadoom grass beetles would be pretty wild in this game.
Bro, can you imagine if they turn that into like, they have the elite grass beetle? They make it an actual grass. I think they could. You can make it like they have like mutant grass beetle, elite grass beetle, regular grass beetles. I mean, bugs in real life, when they bite you, they hurt.
If
that is true, Potion.
It would be lore approved. No, but I think it would be like, I know this game just doesn't know about the culture within the game that it has. And so like if there was a field boss grass beetle that spawned, even just like as an event or like a Hadoom grass beetle, it'd be like probably akin to the Diablo 3 cow level or Diablo 2 cow level rather.
Bro, it really would.
Yeah, people would fucking love that.
Make it where you crawl into like a hole and it's like a grass beetle cave and you have to go through and beat them all up. Get to the end, you get some grass beetle hide.
Need more caves in this game.
The only thing is that you'd have to be on a grass beetle channel to get the grass beetle boss.
Yeah,
there's a channel that just replaced every mob in the game with grass beetles. Same attacks, same stats, same everything, but it was just a grass beetle model instead.
That would truly be the cow level of BDO. I like that. I would come up with some fucking great ideas. What's our fee for these guys?
True, man. We fix this game every week.
And break it.
Now this is actually this is not like a content update, but this is a good update for BDO. They optimized the UI. There were several old UI menus that hurt your FPS slot, and they've gone through and optimized several of those. I won't say all of them, but they've gone through several of them and optimized them. They look slightly
Which
different
one
now.
did they say? Which ones?
I think they have a list. Let me see if I can find it in here. I don't think they included everything in the list, though. I think they just included the ones we would recognize.
Why would they?
Let's see. Optimize chat windows for enhancement, items obtained, chat, notifications, etc., improving frame rate in your game. So they just optimized
Wow,
all of those.
has my chat been fucking my FPS this whole time?
Oh yeah, I've had it off. I actually it's not like they are individually that big deal, but they add up, It's like I actually gained about 10 FPS by turning off the majority of my UI. And I mean I don't know which ones do the majority of that load, but I gained a lot of FPS by just turning it off.
I think you'd
So
lose so much viewership
Interesting.
if you turn the UI on.
probably.
I don't really know why, but I don't think I'd watch you anymore if you turned the UI on.
The other thing they did with the UI is before you had to actually exit the game and close the game for your UI settings to save. So if you changed your UI and your game crashed while you're like AFK training, then you'd have to reset up your UI again. Same thing with if you like change characters and if you change back to your other character, then it wouldn't always save. So now it's supposed to auto save, and they didn't clarify what that means or how that happens. But it's supposed to have some type of autosave feature to make it where you don't have to exit the game every single time. So
That's good because if you're playing this game properly, you don't actually ever log out, and so the only time your game closes is due to crashing, which means your settings literally never saved.
yeah, I crash when the servers go down. Exactly.
Yep. Or just leaving it on overnight and crashing randomly, which
Mhm. Yeah, so that's some good quality of life things here. Um, let's see if there's anything in here I missed. Scrolling through the patch. I don't think so.
It was a pretty light patch this week.
Yeah, just a lot, like a few quality of life things, like some fixes here and there. They definitely try to fluff it up as much as possible.
BDO
One thing
1.0.
I want to talk about before we get into events is like I feel like with Shadowlands coming out, they're throwing out all these events on us, trying to get us to stay. Like they give us 50% drop rate event for 2 weeks, right? And then they're giving us the fishing event, and they're giving us all these other crazy events that the community really really likes. But when Ordelito comes out, which is their biggest content update basically of the year, aside from classes, we don't get hardly any of that. We get half of the drop rate event. We don't get any fishing event, and I feel like these type of events should be tied instead of with competition with, Shadowlands or whatever to call it. It should be tied with their big content updates or new classes coming out. That way, people can get excited and have stuff to keep them interested in the game. And I don't know.
I think they generally do item drop rate and XP events whenever there's a new class or new content.
Yeah,
We got at least
yeah,
a week of drop rate on Nolita, didn't we?
yeah, I don't know. It just seems like right now we have a fishing, and we're gonna get into the other events. We had the 50% drop rate for 2 weeks, and I don't know. That's right there is like 3 times the amount of events that we got proportionately to Odalita releasing.
Okay.
I feel like the fishing event is not them trying to compete with Shadowlands. I feel like it's them trying to synergize with Shadowlands.
Right. Me too. Like they don't.
Okay,
They're like, well,
They
I
don't.
can see that. Yeah, you get AFK in the
how
game.
do we
while-
keep people logged into BDO while they play Shadowlands for
Exactly.
the next 2 weeks? Like,
Yeah.
I think they've just
True.
kind of acknowledged that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's a good reason to do it. I can see that. That way, hey, you just log in, keep fishing, and when you're done with Shadowlands, come back to BDO.
And the other 2 weeks was
which is exactly what people are going to do.
the other 2
Mhm.
weeks was for compensation because they fucked up the loot on the Kelquish.
Ah,
So I don't really like. I think the furthest we could go on the conspiracy theory here is they go, well, people are gonna go back to WoW and play it for 2 weeks, so here's a fishing event. But I'd still think that is a little bit of a stretch, but it works out that way.
Mhm.
It is random. It is random that we have a fishing event. Maybe it's just because I don't know. It doesn't matter.
So they did Thanksgiving. So it's American Thanksgiving for people who are in EU. For American Thanksgiving, they came out with several events. They had Go Fishing, which is you can fish in Velia, Heidel, Port Etheria and Ultanova, and they're the regular spots. I think Ultanova is the only weird one here. It's by the balloon platform. I think all the other ones are the standard spots. Yeah, Port Etheria is like in between the two wharfs. So I don't know, that's where you'd normally be.
Potion, you're making a very good point. Do you think that the NAEU section of BDO is too NA centric? How come there's no Thanksgiving, no EU Thanksgiving? What EU holidays do we have events for, huh? It's always
Christmas and Hanukkah.
Did Europeans knock out Native Americans out of their land to claim it for themselves?
Does Europe even have
Listen,
holidays? How does that work over there?
I don't know if they. I think some countries over there have Thanksgiving, but I don't know when it is. I'll have to ask the EU people.
Apparently, the devs don't know when it is either. EU players, how do you feel being on a American schedule for all your holidays?
You know, they got to be used to it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I probably wouldn't care as long as I'm getting free shit in the game.
Anyway.
Wait. They do Black Friday based on us too, and Cyber Monday.
Well,
so
we're kind of the commodity commerce center of the world.
Wait, EU has Black Friday, but they don't have Thanksgiving?
yeah, well, I mean, everything on Amazon gets put on sale and across the entire world based on America's Black Friday, which is the day after American Thanksgiving.
Okay, but just because an American company does a worldwide sale doesn't mean that Europe is celebrating that holiday, Potion.
Well, I mean, isn't Amazon the main distributor in EU as well?
I didn't
I
come
don't know.
prepared to have this conversation.
Me neither. I'm asking a question because I don't know.
Even if it is, that it's not exactly relevant to the question at hand.
I do know Canada has Boxing Day, which is like very similar to American Thanksgiving, I believe, and they have like a sale that goes on after Boxing Day.
It's the day that you return things. It's the day after Christmas. You return things. There's no fucking Thanksgiving about it. You just return shit that you didn't want that you got for Christmas.
No. There's a Canada one.
Listen, don't get mad at Potion for not knowing Canadian holidays, okay? Nobody needs to waste space in their brain with that kind of information. Canada's not even a country. I think we should focus on I think we should focus on our brothers in EU who are being forgotten here. Canada, like, listen, who cares?
Aren't they like a territory of France? Is that how that works?
I'm pretty sure they are, yeah.
We're all gonna get a 7-day vacation here, man.
How was the last one? Was it? Is that bad? Is it good? Brothers, take a 21-day vacation. I want another one.
Start talking about Port Rat.
I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about these BDO events. That's right. Fishing.
Did Moreland just derail the conversation? Is that the first time in 27 episodes he just decides to take a left turn?
It's a light patch week.
It's casual Friday podcast. We're all wearing jeans.
No, what, you think I'm wearing jeans right now? It's hilarious.
You're wearing flip-flops?
I've never worn jeans to a stream in my life.
I was thinking about buying a pair of jeans. I got too fat from our last pair.
Well, your shorts come down to your ankles, so I wouldn't imagine that you actually buy pants.
That is not really necessary, no. The other event for Thanksgiving is Arcana Fate Box. So you can open this up and you get other items. It's called a Pace of Delight, 1 square to 6 squares, or a Lucky Day, which is like, I think these are all dice game stuff. And then Fated Encounter, Nice Flute.
Yep.
Is that what it is? They're all dice stuff?
Yeah. So there's only one thing. I actually really like the new BSR thing. There's only one square
it's fun.
Where you can acquire these cards. And so I landed on it once and it's like, yeah, you get one more space. I'm like, all right, so I'm not going to land on this for another year. So then they gave us like every possible card. And so I was on the special board or whatever. and one of the cards was move 6 spaces or something, and then that was the 30 Caphras spot, and then so I popped my get the double reward card, used my move 3 spaces thing, or 6 spaces, whatever it was, and then I got 60 Caphras in one roll.
Yo, 60?
60.
Holy smokes. I actually
Roll your
really
dice.
like the dice game because it allows the developers to reward the players with stuff that doesn't affect the game's economy directly. So, like, they could, in Nintendo's words, give us dice or give us a card or, like, give us a random, like, an Arcadia Fate Box or whatever this thing is, right? They could give us,
I
like,
think it affects the economy. We have the Caphras market is actually finally hit an equilibrium on today.
Yeah, they're
Looks like it's
listed.
gonna go down.
yep. I think that it's I think this is good because they can reward players with this and it's not a direct reward, right? It's like, or it's an indirect reward. And so you might get something good out of this box or not good out of this box. And it allows you to, I don't know, it allows them to be a little bit more liberal with it, I think, than they normally would. Because most of the time you're going to get something like a Blackstone or a Caphras or whatever.
Man, between the week where we had the guaranteed Snake Eyes dice that we could get every day, and all these Arcana cards so you could double the rewards, I've probably pulled a couple hundred Caphras from the dice event or from the dice game since they revamped it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you. If you pay attention and actually do it correctly, and want to reap rewards and look for opportunities to use your Arcana cards or your extra dice smart, then yeah, it's gonna affect the economy. But if you just go, I'm rolling dice, and
I think it's good though. Like I don't. I mean, I obviously it has an impact on the economy. I'm just saying that I think it's fine. I think it's actually really I think it's a really good addition to the game.
Yeah, the only
Like
thing that
things
drives
they've.
that drives me nuts is the frame rate on it. It's so stupid. It's like
It,
1 frame per second.
It doesn't need to be. It's like a web UI thing. They need to make it where it's actually programmed in the game, and actually has game code that runs smoothly, not this Chromium.
I don't know any
whatever.
websites that run as badly as the board game BDO.
I'd be so embarrassed if I was on the development team of that. Like, hey, it runs on like shit on every single computer.
Mm.
All right, well,
They definitely need to do something about it. I don't know how they want to fix it, but it's not acceptable how it currently is. I think they got the fun side of it more or less intact, right? As long as they keep giving us these events occasionally like this, right? I think the fun side is good. I honestly I can't believe it, but I think this is one of the most creative things they've come out with in recent history, and I hope they start doing this with parts of BDO in the future, so that we can start seeing this type of creativity and like grind spots and stuff.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
That's not nothing.
No, we talked about it last time you were here. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Oh, okay. So bonus.
I still want you to go to Olin Valley. I want you to grind Olin Valley. Get that DP.
Bonus Thanksgiving mail. So they mailed us a bunch of stuff. We got a Shakatu box. Did you guys get anything good out of that?
They mailed us a Shakatu box?
Yeah.
Yep. It's in your mail. You get 5 loot scrolls.
Oh.
You get combat AFK training dummy stuff. You get 5 EXP scrolls. Pretty good stuff, actually.
I got 12 hards.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, the worst
I got, I think, memory fragments out of mine. Typical. The disappear bot on the 29th. So that's tomorrow. So make sure anybody hasn't claimed them yet. Make sure you claim them. We also have this week is Black Friday. So they have Pearl Shop sales on. They have a lot of stuff in here. It really depends on what you need as a player or what you want as a player, if any of this is good or not.
Can I ask you one more personal question? Did you ever have did you do like the school news or read the announcements at your school growing up?
No.
You would have done such a good job with that.
I tried making a club though. My school had no clubs, and I was watching anime, and they had like clubs in the anime schools. So I said, well, I'm gonna make one. So I tried making a camera club, and well, that didn't go very well. I actually got a teacher. I actually got approval from the school, and I got a teacher to do it. And I think we had 3 people that ended up joining for it. but we didn't have any cameras, so it didn't go very far.
What was the club for? What was it about?
It's just supposed to be a photography club where we go around taking pictures of different stuff, like taking pictures of like nature or like educational things the school needed or promotional materials. I made flyers for it and put around the school and everything. It was pretty fun while it lasted.
I was in a math club.
The biggest thing I was surprised about is that my school actually allowed me to create a club, and we actually had a sponsored teacher that showed up for it. That was the thing that I was impressed with most.
Okay.
Are any of these sales up here for Pearl Shop stuff you like? I think the best deal for me is 180 days for value pack, and it's already, I think it's like 30% off. Let me check. It's already on sale for a lot, and you can get the coupon that you have in the mail for an additional 30% off.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that next week when I have a little bit of money. I'm gonna get the Old Moon book.
Yeah, so it's currently 40% off, and then you can have an additional 30% off on top of the 40% off, I believe.
It should be lifetime, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, honestly,
This
yeah.
game's fucking dead anyway. Take my money and be happy about it.
It's half a year though, right? That's almost half a year.
Yeah.
That's what I did last time. I bought one last time, and I still have 156 days on it. So
Didn't you
I don't know
buy a
how.
full year's worth of comma blessings the last time they had like an event where they gave out comma blessings you could list?
Yeah, I have 507 days of Kamasa Blessing that I bought from the marketplace. I've spent enough money on Kamasa Blessings and Secret Book of Old Moon. Secret Book of Old Moon right now, I have let's see, where is this in here?
If I buy this premium value pack with a coupon, is it technically free?
It costs
No.
30 pearls.
Hmm.
It's pretty good value.
Oh, you can buy 3 of them? I don't know if I want the 180-day value pack if I can buy 3 premiums.
Well, only one of them
Good
is
for
like
3 months.
free. To use that 30. Well, I guess you could use the 30, 20, and 10, right?
30, 20, 10. I got these coupons. They're going to expire.
I also have 301 days of Secret Book of Old Moon, and I originally bought 2.5 years of the Book of Combat.
Potion, can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you say Secret Book of the Old Moon 3 times as fast as you can?
Secret Book of the Old Moon. Secret Book of the Old Moon. Secret
That's way
Book
slow.
of the
You
Old
just
Moon.
said it like 1,000 times faster than that a second ago. Why are you slowing down?
Since I'm being put on the Johnny on the spot, I have to make
Why are
sure
you
I'm
being
enunciating
humble?
greatly.
Greatly?
I don't want you to enunciate. I want you to speed. That was like some rap god shit, dude.
Clip it and ship it, boys.
Do what?
But yeah, so they have some good sales here. Are there anything else in here that you guys like for the sales? If you're a pay to winner, you can buy, how many costumes is this?
They just keep making it bigger.
Lots.
Yeah, I don't know, a ton of them for 33% off.
We need them.
I was thinking about selling my Garmoth and spending all the silver on Shikatu boxes.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that right now. How do I extract this thing? I have to go to Duvenkird?
No, you can go to any.
Yeah, you just go to any blacksmith and buy the things for
Don't
it.
you have to get a thing from Duvenkird? I can buy it from anyone?
Oh, maybe you do.
I think it's Duvenkird. Otherwise, I would have yeeted this shit months ago. The fact that I have to go to Duvenkird is the only thing that's keeping it intact.
I get that feeling.
I'm looking through here on the Pearl Shop stuff.
Yeah, I don't really spend a lot
You
of
can buy
money on
more
this
fell
game.
stacks.
Oh, I fucking hate that. I hate that so much.
Oh, they have Council Blessing back in here.
I wish they would just make it permanent.
Buying fail stacks?
Yeah, that should just be a Pearl item. We should all just submit. Get it over with. It's better than making them.
The slow death.
How much money would you pay if they sold a 300 stack on the Pearl Shop? Be honest.
I wouldn't pay anything.
I wouldn't buy it.
I would buy the shit out of it, dude.
I don't pay to win like that, man.
I would much. It's more than just. I mean, even if you just look at like the normal shit you're spending money on, like a value pack, I would way rather spend money on a 300 stack than on like 3 months of value packs.
Yeah, but I also know they make it like $100, and so that's why I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, how much is value pack every month? Well, it's not that much, but still.
See, the value pack doesn't like devalue my progress, you know, or the combo blessing or whatever. Like it is pay to win, right? And convenience and all that kind of stuff. But like just outright buying an item that directly benefits, you know, like you can't go for certain items unless you have this massive stack, and then just buying that with money would probably make me quit this game. And honestly, the enhancement, buying fail stacks, even like a 40 stack or something, is pretty gross.
What's the difference between someone buying a 300 stack that makes them twice as likely to hit an item versus someone buying a literally infinite amount of cronstones that guarantees that they're going to hit the item?
The availability financially. There's only a handful of people that can play the infinite cronstone game.
And the other thing for me personally is like, I don't BDO in its current state. I don't care about my gear enough to buy a 300 stack. That's just the bottom line of it. I just don't care enough about my gear to buy it.
All the grinding I've done and stuff, like it's fine when there's an event that give everybody 100 stack. I don't really have a problem with that. But if you could buy a 300 stack for $100, I'd probably uninstall, honestly.
Yeah, I would just care about the game less. It wouldn't make me care about the game more. It made me care about the game less. And it's already kind of the problem, right? I mean, it's the reason why you're playing Blast Oasis instead of Black Desert. It's because it's not enough motivation right now, not enough purpose in Black Desert to continue playing, going for the next item.
I agree with you guys, except for the fact that it's fail stacks. This is like the one item that's so tedious to get through regular gameplay. I wish they would just sell it at this point.
Well, those are you're conflating then. Those are two different problems. You know,
they could fix that problem by just making the fail stacks that you need lower.
But they're not going to fix the actual problem.
Well, fixing the problem by stuffing it into another larger egregious problem is far from a solution, my friend.
Yeah.
I think that's
the other things in the pro shop that they the other things in the pro shop they did was Compass of Blessing and Secret Book of Old Moon.
Fail stacking sucks, but hey, if you got money, you can just buy them.
I mean, that's what this game does, though. They create a problem, and then they sell you the solution in the Pearl Shop.
God,
remember training your fucking horse skills? Holy shit.
Wait, you don't have to do that anymore?
Not if you buy the thing.
Bro, maybe I'll actually get a T9 now.
I don't know.
I've had my T8 for, I think, 3 years, and I've never upgraded it because I didn't want to do that.
You don't have to train skills in order to upgrade it. You have to train skills in order to use the skills.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to have to relearn them. That was my big fear.
You guys know any, like, pure free-to-play players?
I mean, people...
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's actually a shocking amount of pure free-to-play BDO players.
Yeah, this is a good amount.
I knew one back in the day, in original Aftershock, like, before... they had all these great events and stuff. He just had like 650 weight and like 70 inventory slots, and that was it.
I think the game has become a lot more friendly to free-to-play players as it's also catered more to whales.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been an interesting like dichotomy, how they've kind of served both of those communities, and the people who like casually spend money are like, you know,
if you think about it, that's how Arcade did it, right? Arcade, they would cater you into the game until you got to a certain point, and then at that point you just be like, well, you can't continue playing unless you spend money. And I think Black Desert is heading closer to that rather than farther away with those actions. I do think the game is better played for the new players, but they're just going to have, in order to keep making money, they're going to have to make the game more pay to win because of that. And I just don't know if that's a good solution.
I don't know. For me, it's like, you know, my stream isn't insanely large or anything, and when I go to play another game, I keep most of the people just watch me for me. And so like going to Last Oasis and playing and just having fun, and then, you know, diving into new communities and stuff like that, I'm way more interested in doing shit like that than I am just dying on weird hills and dealing with the same stupid fucking toxic people over and over again. So I've had a really good week just like learning how to PvP. Some of the most fun, I know I'm kind of taking a left turn here, but The 1v1s Moreland and I had. You know, I love being reminded. You've been playing this game so casually for so long, Moreland, that it's cool being reminded what a good video game player you actually are.
Oh, I thank you.
This man is like fastidious with his grinding and studious with his PvP skills.
It's nice to have a game that I actually, I'm motivated to push to that extent because, yeah, BDO has definitely been a casual thing for
Your
me.
motivation is fucking scary, dude. It really is. It's really scary. Anyway, so yeah.
Once upon a time, that's how it was in this game too. They could make it like that again.
Yeah, but they have no idea, remember? I wonder if they're going to make another comment,
Right.
another earth-shattering comment like that in the Calpheon Ball. Hey, we want to make this game great again, but we have no fucking clue. I can't get that out of my head.
Apparently, Crimson Desert is going to be on display at the Calpheon Ball, which kind of, I thought they were keeping the two separate, but I guess we're going to get like news for a different game now when they're talking about this game.
Yeah, either they should call it Pearlbus Connect and include Black Desert, or they should call it the Caltheon Ball and not include any other games.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird that they're talking about Crimson Desert and the Calpheon Ball. It's like, so are you guys, what's the deal with BDO?
Well, yeah.
What about this game?
What if this whole thing is just to announce that they're firing their other partners in Cacao Games and that other fucking company are gone?
I mean, I can definitely see them at this point trying to replace Cacao just so it's no more middleman.
We've
I
been
think
saying
that
that
makes
for 3 years, though.
But-
Is that ever actually going to
yeah.
happen?
I just want it so bad!
I don't think anything will change really. Like I think the customer service will be way worse, and I think they will listen to us about 5% more, and 5% more of nothing is still nothing.
No, the customer service will definitely get worse, but they'll listen to us 100 times more.
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think that's better for the game long term. Customer service, if it can be bad, then say la vie.
I don't think
And
we're
I-
having any worse customer service right now than we were, on Xbox console or whatever. Like it's taking months. I have a ticket that hasn't been answered. I have 2 tickets that just aren't going to get answered. They sent me an email like 2 weeks ago. They're like, "Sorry, we're busy." I'm like, "Oh."
I think we maybe still don't have an answer to that trade crate ticket. It's been so long now, I kind of forgot that it exists.
Yeah, they stopped updating. They stopped giving the partners patch previews too. I was doing that every week, but they stopped doing that.
Well, somebody would have to have a full-time job there.
That's the holidays.
That's
Kinda.
true.
Not in Europe.
Yeah. In Europe, they have Thanksgiving also. I learned this today.
That's true. They don't have holidays over there.
I don't know. Global Lab does have some updates though. If we want to talk about that, you want to jump into that?
Why the fuck not?
All right. Hadoom update for Alter Imp Serendia. So that is the latest Hadoom spot. One thing I saw that's pretty interesting is you can now record the amount of loot you get, and it actually shows you an infograph of how long you've recorded the loot and how much loot you've gotten.
Oh.
It counts the
What?
it actually counts the number of blackstones you got. Here, let me pull up the image of it real quick so I can like not talk out my ass. The image I had here was for 10 minutes, and the grind spot hasn't been balanced yet on Global Lab, but they had it told them 334 trash, told them how much that was worth. It said 47 ancient spirit dust, and told them that was worth 141,000 silver, which is not correct. But it tells you exactly how much you got and for the time that you recorded, and it adds all up and tells you the total profit. It tells you what your AP was during the test and everything.
The best part about this is going to be people grinding for 5 minutes, getting a distortion earring, and then talking about how they're making $2 billion an hour.
Yep. And it just tells you your silver profit, so you'll have to do the math yourself for like how much you're making per hour. It doesn't do that for you, which I think is good. In this case, they had 13 blackstones and 14 of another blackstone, and that was like 41 and 49 million. They had 96 blackstone armor and 107 blackstone weapons, and it adds all up there. It tells you the profit based on the marketplace price. It said here 5 Caphras, and the value of that was 3 million. And if you can't sell it to the market, like the ancient spirit dust, it tells you what the value of it selling it to the vendor is. So there's a problem there a little bit, you know. But you can do a little bit of math yourself and figure out the rest, right?
So remember like 30 minutes ago when I said that this game doesn't understand the culture that's within it? I might have been a little bit wrong. I'm
think
really
this is
surprised. I'm really surprised that they have something like that.
yeah. So the timer function, I believe, is already in the game. I'm looking for it in here. There's like a little button you can click and it starts a timer, but the recording function is not currently in the game. I don't see
Is
it
there a
in.
notebook in this game? Yeah, notepad. There's a notepad. You guys ever used a notepad?
I used it once for one of my stream
Maybe.
things.
I feel like I wrote something down on it in 2016, and I don't know what it was.
Does any of your chats know if they have the recording function in the game right now? I can't find it.
I don't think so. That would have been pretty big news. Excuse me.
So hopefully we get that because that is looking pretty good. That was like probably the biggest thing that I saw is that they had updated that, and I don't know when it wasn't apparently this patch because I looked through the Global Lab patch notes and it didn't mention it. So apparently it's been on Global Lab for a little bit now. But I think that is awesome.
Do you think that they will actually fix the price for things like Ancient Dust, or do you think it's always going to be wrong?
I think it's always going to be wrong, and I think there's a chance that they don't give it to us on NA just because they are not publishing here, right? And so we know that for some things like the Imperial Marketplace, they never update it because they have to have a GM go in there and like edit it and start the event. And so
Wait, do they update it in Korea?
oh yeah, it always has something in Korea.
So we'd have to
Always
have
has
an
something.
active publisher that employs people that works
Are you
48
sure?
40-hour a week.
Yeah. I know in Korea they've done it for a long time. I haven't looked at it. I haven't been on my Korean account in about a year now. But when I last played Korea, they were updating it still. So you can ask. I mean, people who play on their servers that are published by them. I'm sure it's updated. Anyway, I hope this comes to us, and I hope it's something that's not exclusive until they publish for us, because I don't think it would be like that. But we don't have it yet, and I know the actual recording function's been out in Korea for about a year now, but the loot thing hasn't been there. The loot thing hasn't been there, right? It was just a timer before. You could hit a start timer, you start recording, and you could hit a stop timer, and it'd tell you how long you grinded for. And so you can have like in your inventory and manage it, but now actually as a loot recorder.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just was an incomplete system that they're finally finishing up. I think it's really promising though. The other thing they did on Global Lab, kind of getting back to what they did this week, they said autopath, where your mounts will actually use their fast abilities. So if you're autopathing with a horse, you'll use sprint.
Oh
If
yeah.
autopathing with if you're using with an elephant, it'll use quick steps. If you're using with a camel, it'll use its sprint ability. There's a lot of stuff they mentioned in here, and the translation wasn't good enough for me to know about everything. They mentioned things like donkeys, and I'm not sure how that works. Are they adding abilities to donkeys? I don't know. So
You guys don't like this, do you? You don't like the fast horses and making the map smaller, right?
I mean, I think once upon a time I would have said no, but at this point, that ship has sailed.
Don't fucking care
So
anymore.
I think for me, I don't care that it's on auto pathing. The main thing I don't like about this is mainly that I think there should be a benefit to playing the game actively over AFKing the game. And I think this makes it where whether you play the game actively or AFK, now the benefit for playing active is not worth it anymore.
I
I
mean,
would
it's not like it's double drift canceling you to get from point A to point B. It's still going to be significantly faster to use your skills.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's something that for me, I think this is narrowing that gap between playing actively and not actively. Like, who cares if I save an extra 2 minutes now? Where before I was saving maybe 5 or 10 minutes, now I'm gonna be saving 2 to 5 or something. It's
I
just
think
not worth
I think
it.
it's good quality of life. I am interested though how often the sprint function is going to make your horse fly off a cliff like while he's turning.
I think a
You
more
think you'll just stick to the path like super strict?
no, it'll
Just
Pegasus
turn-
fly. It just it'll be a cell phone game. I think the more interesting question is, will it do it if your sprint or instant excel or whatever isn't fully leveled? and will it just
Oh,
toss you off?
or like it'll like kick you
Oh,
off your horse if you haven't run enough
yeah, it
all the way.
auto sprints and kicks you off. That's probably gonna happen because then they have even more reasons to sell you those skill up
It's a
kits.
call to action for pay to win.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, you guys left your cynical at home
I
today,
think
huh?
honestly, like
Simultaneously a quality of life and a cash shot bait. That is some good. That's smart.
Yeah,
That is smart.
for the auto pathing thing,
that man's
I
got an
think
MBA.
ultimately it doesn't really matter that much. I think if it was me designing the game, I probably wouldn't do it because I don't like the direction it takes the game. But this is a personal preference thing, and I think for the average player, this is probably going to be a good quality of life,
So
right? So
apparently boats have the same function, and it's fucking terrible and screws up your auto path.
That's kind of why I'm wondering about the horse version.
Thanks, Smash.
Another thing is they're updating Patrigo's shop finally. So they're removing several items from him, and they are also adding new items. So they removed, I think, like tree belt, all of the independent like
Oh
dandelion
my
boxes and all that
god.
stuff.
For 400 mil. For 50 energy. Oh, Jesus. I haven't thought about
Yeah.
the Night Vendor in a long time.
I'm
So-
genuinely excited, dude. I've been crying about Night Vendor for 2 years straight, ever since they said they were going to update him and never did. I think this is really good. The best thing that I saw in there is 100 stack. I have no idea what they're going to sell that shit for, but
10,000 pearls.
well, that's the thing. Like, it's the 95% rule, right? Like, they're doing everything except for the 5% of the work necessary to make it good. So my theory is they're going to get rid of all the right items, add all the right items, get all that right, but then the prices are going to be like completely bullshit, and we're just not going to use it anyways. Kind of like the 400 mil red nose thing. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I'm cautiously optimistic. Is that what they say?
They do.
So let me see here what they deleted. They deleted Sissels. So they're probably going to go up in price. Not really.
It's gonna have zero impact.
The Whale Muller earrings, Tree Spray Belt, Witch Earring, Mark of Shadow all got removed.
They're all going to explode. They're just going to be max price now.
Zarka, Dandelion, and New Recruitum no longer can be rolled for individual characters, so you can't get individual character weapons anymore.
You can get a pin Whale Muller right now for 8.5 bill. Did you guys know that?
Pretty good price, honestly.
Forgot that item was in the game.
Dude.
New additions: Tungrad necklace, Rayton's Power Stone, Tungrad ring. I don't know what some of these are. Eye of the Ruins ring.
You can't pronounce it like that, Potion. We talked about this the other week.
You don't know what Eye of the Ruins ring is?
Distortions are going to be in here. The Toro belt, Tungrad belt. And yeah, they're going to have 20 stack, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So that actually you'll have a pretty good chance of getting a fell stack out of here with that many. I would assume you have a pretty good chance. You can get up to 100 Caphras. You get a Caphras pack and it can be 50 to 100.
What do you think the prices on that shit are going to be?
Way too much, like everything else in there.
5 mil each.
Yep.
You can get an Elion's tier box, and you can get a crystal extraction tool, which I think is pretty nice as well.
Okay, I like
so
that.
I don't know, some pretty good stuff. I mean, I think the majority is just gonna be blackstones as normal and sharps and hards, right? But at least this will give people like a little bit of a motivation to go here.
Nope. I mean, we'll have to.
I
see
wish
what
they would
the
add
materials are.
Vels and Garmoth. I think that would be really good, even if it was a tiny chance.
I agree. Yeah, that would be very nice.
If you can go there and grab a 99 mil disto or something, you know, that'll be a thing to. I'm so full on energy pots. You know, that's what we used to do, right? Is you'd pick up a.
That's what we used to do. Save up all week and then Night Vendor streams. Remember that shit? Used to be hype.
Pick up.
I remember watching YouTube videos about that because people are like, "Oh my gosh, I got Urgon." It's like, "No, you didn't, you fuck." And they're like, "Yeah, I did."
Well, the profit was good for a while. You'd buy like a crescent ring for 30 mil and sell it for 70 or something.
Bassy belts.
Yeah, Bassy belts, ogre rings, stuff like that. So I'm okay with that coming back.
Yeah, long as the prices are good. I think Moro hit it on the head. The prices are going to determine if this is good or bad.
That's what I was literally just fucking talking about. Why do you have to bring his name?
Yeah, you're
up?
right. Well, you're both right then. Fuck, I don't know.
Well, give me a little fucking credit. I've had a tough week. I've been being accused of being a thief all week, okay? All week.
Listen, all right, we both know that you stole the nomad cloth.
I
all
didn't
right?
steal the
barely
fucking
added
nomad
accused
cloth.
in there. You see how he barely added the word accused in there?
The other things it did is the Arsha only Dark Rift that is been updated. So it had a lot of popularity apparently. Go figure. Good idea.
Right.
So they made it where they appear at random times at particular locations. Thorn Forest. I don't know what this one is. Gyphon Rassia stars in
Gyphon
Fourth
Rassia.
Naros and Monsham Forest. So they have several spots that it appears at. And what's really cool here is the more people that show up, the more monsters that pour out of the rift. So if you have 10 people show up there, there's gonna be a crap load of monsters coming out at you.
What is
Um,
show up? Is that be in the area or is that hit the boss?
I don't think they mentioned it here. What it is? I would
Hmm.
assume I would assume it's hitting a monster, but that might be wishful thinking. I don't know.
Well, because if are they trying to make it so that you shouldn't kill other people and like this is a cooperative PvP server
Well,
mission?
I think the idea is if you have a 5-man party, you want more monsters to spawn. Or if you have like a platoon, you can have a whole guild come out like, "Hey, bros, let's get out here and do this business." All right. Then you want to have more. You want to have enough for 20 people. Again, we have to play test this because they didn't mention enough here. There's not enough substance in what they talked about for us to really know.
Yeah, I mean, how is the loot distributed? Because if they're just going to buff it when new people show up, then there's no incentive to clap people and take the boss from them. Like, we should all just hold hands and, cooperate, right?
I assume that you get loot based on the monsters that you kill, and that the monsters' loot will be based on the standard rules of BDO, meaning first come, first serve, or whoever does 50% damage, I think is the current rule. Um, so I think it'll just follow the same rules as normal. So you think the idea will be for you go up there, try to find a monster that no one else has attacked yet, start attacking him, and then defeat him before someone else comes up and kills you. But we'll just have to see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting at the very least. I like that they're still iterating on it. This is something that I think they've done a really poor job in the past, is where they kind of release something and then they get, like you said, 95% of the way there, and then never go back and like make it better. They need like 2-3 iterative processes to make it, get to where it should be. And I feel like at least they're going back and adjusting this, because imagine if they never went back and adjusted this, right? You could have 5 people there and it's only designed for 2 people. It just would never work out. So I'm glad that they're going back and kind of, adjusting it a little bit. Another thing they added here was for the mole. They added a mole to farming, so you can. The translation here is pretty bad, but the idea that I'm getting is when you breed seeds on your farms, any type of seed, there's a low chance you'll get food that a mole wants. And then you can go and find these moles. You'll have a hungry mole, a greedy mole, and a lost mole. They'll be like elite moles, I guess, at designated locations. And when you give them the food and kill them, you will. It's like sort of like bait. You'll be baiting them. You'll get certain rewards. Here they mentioned blackstones.
Didn't we have an event that was kind of like this?
Yeah, we did. I think they took time of the event idea and applied it. They look like the regular moles there in Caltheon. Have you seen those? They look like those.
I have S ranks on them.
That took for a while, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they have 10 to 15 seed half eaten by a bird. So some of the stuff seems like new. They have mutant plants, unripe fruits.
Yeah, it's just a way to get more T9 mats, a way to get more what's it called? Stuntail fodder.
So anyway, that's being added to farming. We'll have to see how good this is. This seems a little tedious, but I guess people who
I don't know why they can't just increase the Stuntail fodder drops if that's what they want to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's still grind spots that could be easily buffed with it, right?
It's been a year since Monos was released, and there's still no Monos farming. Like, how long could that possibly fucking take?
Right. I farmed my way up to Master too on 2 different accounts. It'd be great if that was actually rewarded. Besides, just
do you guys remember fish farms? I wonder if we'll get a fish farm update at the Calphian Ball.
Fish farms?
They said last year they were going to give us fish farms.
Right. So when they
Or
when they delete
was
Medaya
it the year
Castle,
before?
we'll get the climbing life skill to go over the invisible wall to get to Magoria Part 2.
And then we'll have fish farms there. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
fish farms will
Okay.
be over there. Yep. Part of
Makes
Magoria
sense,
Part
makes
2.
sense.
Keep
I
adding
think
to
fish
that
farms could be
list.
really cool for like you can make Magoria mills actually productively. That'd be really neat.
I don't know. I'm pretty traumatized from. I had a fish tank when I was younger, and my sister had a beta fish, and then I had like the little neon fishes, and it kept eating them, and like I had to experience.
Yeah,
At 6 years old, I had to like be reminded that like my mortality, my impending doom, and we had like fish funerals.
Why did they feed your fish to the beta fish?
We didn't know. They didn't know. My
You
parents
guys
didn't
didn't
know.
know those are little murderers?
And I guess they didn't fucking care enough to like actually go like, hey, why are these fish dying? It's with a beta, and they'd be like, well, you know, beta are killing them. And so I just had to like, so I'm pretty sensitive about fish and them being, you know, contained,
farmed.
Because that beta was definitely farming my neon fish.
Weren't you begging me to list dried fish on the marketplace a couple months ago?
Yeah. Not begging. Begging? I've never begged you for anything.
I'm just saying. You know those dried fish are not. They're no longer living.
Yeah, they were caught out in the look. Open up your map.
Hundreds of thousands.
Are you trying to make me
fish
cry on stream?
Had to take place in order for me to get those goods.
You're gonna have to stream snipe me for at least 2 hours to do that.
All right, they updated the horse racing again. Not sure why they keep doing this because no one cares, but they've done it again on Global Labs. And then they updated
games on it.
Everybody's chat except for horse racing. Let's go. Let's get a horse race going. What if we just like held a community? Remember, we're gonna do like the Mystery of Nerds thing. What if we just held like a community?
Oh, don't remind people that
a community horse race as an apology for never doing that. Well, we never did it because PA said they were never gonna do it, and then they did it a month later.
Yeah, they came out like a week or two before and said, "Yeah, we're not doing that," and then they were like, "Ah, just kidding. Here it is."
Mysteries of Winter.
No, I rather hold a community horse race.
Bro, I can only imagine. Someone will have that tier 10 and just whip all of us.
No T10s allowed.
Yeah.
Let's see. They updated Mudster, the guild boss Mudster, and they updated the guild boss Pooterum. Did I say that right? Pooterum?
Yeah,
Pooter. I think I said it right.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
Pooter. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Pooter. They've been updated. Yep. They didn't mention their loot here. They gave them some new like effects. There's like some new effects, new mechanics to them.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't mention any of their loot. So if I'm still getting Lavertos from this, then I probably won't do it.
Except for Cooterum.
Are there any guild bosses they haven't updated then? Isn't that like the last one?
Potion, nobody cares about guild bosses.
Guild bosses were fun once upon a time. They could be fun again.
When we needed Laverto bundles. Maps? Remember maps? What?
Remember Afro maps? Those were fun to do with your guildies.
Oh, that's right.
We should do guild bosses and get Manos accessories.
I don't know. After we did 100 in Aftershock, it got a little tedious.
Of the maps? Yeah, true. I'm really glad we didn't stream that though.
Yeah, I just did it at 4 a.m. on a Wednesday. Wasn't really difficult.
It's crazy that they never checked.
No. It's okay though. I'm happy with my money. Let's see. You can now lock your Black Spirit Rage. I'm not sure what's different about this. They mentioned in here. And that's it for the Global Lab.
Wait, there's a second Black Spirit Rage lock?
Yeah, I don't know what they mentioned. They mentioned it in here, but they didn't say what it changed.
Do you look up the translated notes on BD Foundry, or are you Google translating these every week?
I'm just Google translating them every week.
How many weeks do I have to tell you to go to bdfoundry.com and look up the goddamn professionally translated Global Lab notes? It's highlighted on the right-hand side. I love you. I'm frustrated with you because I keep telling you this. time and time again. There's a man who speaks Korean and English and types it out with his hands.
Well, why don't you look up the professionally translated notes then, Tim?
I often do to correct the Potion Shopness. But Potion Shop does a very good job of driving us through these patch notes. I just need to remind you and shake you a little bit to go to bdfoundry.com.
Sponsored post.
They do a great job.
Well, I don't use them because I just use the regular website. And if you want to use something different, that's fine.
Just try it. Just try it. Just try it. Just try it. What do you
Listen, you can
what
write
do you have to
can
lose?
write the podcast notes.
No, I don't want to do this.
You can
I'm
run
not
us through
saying
each of the
no.
things.
Come
And then you can
on.
post it to Spotify and YouTube and all that.
I appreciate you. I'm not. Oh, I hate being alive.
By the way, for anyone who missed the last episode, I'll be recording it off of Tim's stream tomorrow and uploading episode 26 and 27 to YouTube and Spotify. I apologize for not being up on time.
Other games?
Yeah, other games. Last Oasis or whatever you guys want to talk about.
I want to talk about Destiny.
Destiny? It's a blast.
You rated it as 6 out of 10 last time you were here.
Yep. I think the main problem is they drip feed content. And because they drip feed the content, it doesn't feel very good. I think that's the biggest problem. I think the game in its current form would probably be received around like a 7. But they took 3 weeks for them to release all that content. You know, they released enough content for, I don't know, 2 days of playing the game the first week. Then they released enough content the second week for, about a week. And I think the game in its current form is about a 7 out of 10. But again, it took them 3 weeks to get to this point.
You think the community kind of overestimated how good this expansion and kind of new version of Destiny was going to be?
Yeah, I think people wanted to blame Activision for all the problems, but Activision has upsides and downsides. Activision's the overlords are going to control everything, but they also bring a lot of money to the table to make things happen.
Right.
They bring Vicarious Studios, and I forget what the other studio was, to help them make content. And now without that money and without those other studios, they can't make as much content anymore. And people were expecting them to put out more content than before and also make the game better. And they made the game better, but they can't put out as much content without Activision.
So you think a first-person shooter version of WoW is relevant in 2020 or without all of that money behind it? Or do you think that, the loyal fan base are going to be lured away to other games?
I think Destiny being a mainstream game like Fortnite and, PUBG and World of Warcraft, I think they're still a ways away from that. I think they need to work on their foundation and slowly build their way up, just like Blizzard, wasn't built in a day. I think it's going to be the same thing with Bungie and Destiny. I think it's going to take them several years to get to where they want to be, and I think they will eventually get there if they keep their current morality and ethics and game development techniques. I think they'll eventually become the new Blizzard or Activision, become very famous and wealthy. But it's going to take them time to build up and get there. So if you're looking for those big games now from them, I don't think you're going to get them. But I think that if you're going to wait for the long run, like PoE today is great. But when it first came out, it was trash, man. Nobody wanted to play that. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Destiny. Hopefully a lot faster than PoE because it already has a good start, has a very, very strong start. But it's not going to be where it needs to be for probably another couple of years, is my guess.
What a weird arc.
Yeah. They were solo, got bought by Microsoft, then worked for Activision, and now they're solo. I don't know. They have another game that they're probably going to be releasing. It's called Matter, that they're working on behind the scenes. I think it's another reason why the Destiny is currently struggling, because they're currently splitting their focus between, just like Black Desert Online is with Pearl Abyss. They're splitting between 4 different games.
Yeah.
And same thing with Bungie. They're splitting between Destiny and Matter.
Splitting the focus thing drives me up the wall. If you are a company and you go from 100 employees to 400 employees, and at the same time you go from 1 product to 4 products, you're not splitting your focus. You're just growing.
I just think it takes time because you have your talented you have your talented individuals, and they have to be put somewhere. You have somebody who's the best at development and the guy who's second best at development, and where do you want to put that talent on? So I don't think it means you're going to fail. I just think that it's just like in real life. If you are, playing two different games at the same time, you can't be as focused as you could or as good as you
Yeah,
could if you
if
focus
you're
only
two
on one.
people though.
Right. I'm with
Yeah,
Morgan on
but
this one.
ultimately, this is the same group of people making the choices for the studio, right? For Pull
No,
Abyss and for
what
Bungie.
do you know about the internal workings of these studios? You say this kind of shit every week, bro. I don't know I don't know what it means. Like they're allowed to
Well,
have.
Bungie has shareholders that have there's like I forget how many there are, probably 7 of
You
them
remember when
roughly.
Blizzard made Diablo and StarCraft at the same time they were making Warcraft?
Yeah,
Like
I
a
think it's
company has
possible to
talent,
do.
they can expand and make other titles. We don't have to
So
ship them every time they have more than one title.
but Bungie has a limited amount of money, right? They have a limited amount of money. They got $100 million loan to be able to make Matter, and so they have limited money, and so that's hurting. That's definitely hurting Destiny. It's just playing the game. You can see they don't have as much content as they did previously, and they actually blame that on not having enough money. And so if they're spending that 100 million, they could have asked for a loan to spend it on Destiny, but they didn't do that. So I don't know. It's just I think for me, I'm just outside looking in, right? I'm the kid that's looking into candy store and wishing you could have all the candy. Um, and so my perspective is obviously probably not the most accurate, but I do think that's how I see it at least.
So I got an interesting question in chat before we just to take a little left turn here.
Mm.
Somebody wants to know how to overcome anxiety when it comes to PvP. You guys remember, or do you ever get anxious in like intense PvP situations?
Only in the really high stakes games. It doesn't happen in games like BDO.
Do you try to manage it, or do you have? For me, I told them that like I record some of my PvP engagements when they're not going well, or I get frustrated, or I get anxious, and then I go back and review what I did, so I'm a little better prepared for next time. And then I remind myself that you're not, not dying in real life. It's just pixels. Run out there and learn something.
3 things.
I
That's
don't know
what
if
I do. 3 things.
okay, go ahead.
I look at what I did in the past. I plan for the future, and then I have as much experience as possible. The more experience you have, the better you'll be able to deal with that. So if you realize if you're going into a fight and you don't realize in the moment that you're anxious and you're excited and everything, you have to figure out in the moment how to calm yourself down. Learn how to control your heart rate. Those are things that you can practice and get better at. And the main thing is experience, right? If it's your first time ever doing something, you're going to be very, very anxious and have a lot of anxiety. But if you've done it 100 times, you're not going to be near as anxious because you're going to know a little bit what to expect. And at some point you get diminishing returns on more experience. But if you're new, the easiest thing to do is to spend a lot of time in the activity, and you'll just become less anxious because of that. And other than that, it becomes a game of just trying to mentally prepare yourself ahead of time and to remember what steps you've planned and practiced for, and be confident in yourself. I get anxious a lot. I'm not very good at PvP. And so when I'm on stream and I see somebody, I'm like, I had to prove myself, which never works out very well. But I don't know. It's part of the fun, right? If you didn't have all that like anxiety or emotions wrapped up in it, it wouldn't be near as fun. I don't think.
Dude, I wish I got anxiety when PvPing in this game. That would be amazing.
I've overcome mine for the most part. I tunnel pretty hard still sometimes, but that's what I've been working on with RBF, is trying to be more situationally aware. Back in World of Warcraft that I played for like 3 or 4 years, tunneling was basically everything. You would tunnel on a specific mechanic, you're that function of that fight or whatever. I remember being anxious back then, but I was I was a couple of feet away from XQC and a couple other big streamers at TwitchCon 2019 on the stage playing a game that I don't normally play, Apex Legends, in front of there's probably 1,000 people in there or something with 100,000 watching, and I really didn't have. I had a lot of intensity and excitement, but I don't think it was really anxiety. But I definitely had to focus on my breathing when I was running through the map and stuff, and I just stayed situationally aware. But I think it just takes experience. I don't think there's a diminishing return on experience. I think if you don't think you can learn or get better or anything like that through experience, you're capping yourself. And so that's something that I'm working on myself, is that, I just, well, this is as good as I can be. It's like, well, no, I've got to teach myself to learn how to be better. And so I think that kind of all inflates into each other, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was an interesting question, since we're kind of off the
It's a very
video
good
topic.
question, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody experiences that to some degree, whether it's against an opponent or yourself, right?
I get anxious when I fight Moreland. I really love stuffing Moreland.
Weird champ.
This is my hero. So speaking of stuffing Moreland, Last Oasis has been a massive highlight. What do we have? 5 days, 4 days or something, with the announcement of them wiping the server, calling it season 2.
Yeah, there was barely any heads up at all.
So that was a big deal.
Yeah, work in their hype department.
No heads up, no marketing. They were just like, "Hey guys, we're gonna do season 2 in 5 days. Hope you're ready. Hope you're free.
Did
Hope
they
you're
do
not
any
playing
new
for PS5."
walkers or anything?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of new shit, dude. A bunch of new shit. New tiles, new walkers. They capped all clans at 50.
That's
So
a good
there's
change.
no more Mega Zergs, at least not officially, although there's still people allying and shit like that. There's stone bases now that you can pack. So you, at least for the first week of the game, your bases are basically unraidable unless you're very careless. And even when Hellfire comes out, it's very expensive to raid someone's stone base. So there's a much bigger layer of safety to like small scale players. You're not just getting burned by every, random person with Rupru gel.
Is originally there was a fear that people would macro and stuff. Have they done anything to kind of prevent the
Yeah,
macroing side?
they got rid of a lot of the like Rupu farming, because you have to kill the guards at a Rupu camp now to get the gel. So if you're actually going to make fire arrows to burn someone's base, you can't just like cheese it anymore. You have to actually do the mechanics, so it's slowed that way down. A lot of the objectives now, there's like you can get tablets from medium tiles by taking they have new quests that you can do to get money, and you can take that money to a trader. So the like unlocking the tech tree is something that's a lot more accessible now. You don't need to be in a big Zerg in order to like have a fabricator locked down or anything like that. It's honestly hard to like list all the changes. Some dude did like a 25-minute video on the season 2 changes, and it was pretty concise. Like he didn't flounder too much, and it was still 25 minutes of him talking about it.
So I can pack I have a walker called a Bailing that can turn into a foundation for a base, and I built a stone base on it, and inside that stone base I have my war dinghy packed into there. So I can ride around on my war dinghy, put it in my base, and then pack my base into, it's basically a mollusk or whatever that other protected walker is, and then walk to the edge of the map and move my entire base. I'm heavy, I'm not moving real quick if I do that, but you can do that.
Yeah. One quick thing for people who don't know, Last Oasis, it's in the desert scenario. A walker is basically like a wooden machine, and as the name describes, it walks in the desert sand effectively. And this is kind of like the car of the desert in this game. You do everything on this because you have to survive from going from one oasis to the next before the sun comes and burns you up. And that's kind of like the basic storyline of it for people who don't know. I like that though. I like the protective element. I think I'll get back into that. Do they have any way to generate support for the game? Like any cosmetics you can buy or anything like that?
I don't think so. I think it's still just $30.
Yeah.
I would love to buy some cosmetics in that game. Even just like making the stone base look less ugly. I would pay a lot of money to do that.
Oh, it looks so bad, man.
It's so goddamn ugly.
Looks like you made it out of mud and scat. It's terrible.
It's growing everywhere.
I saw they did some basic graphic updates, like the water looks a little better and stuff. It seems to me. I was watching, I think one of you guys' stream the other day. Looked a little better.
If you could turn the spider into like a Formula 1 car, I'd spend $20 on that.
Just ruin everybody.
just demolish the merchant.
Turn the dinghy into a unicorn.
There's an event where we all just start wearing bunny outfits, murderous bunny outfits.
So Cyberpunk got delayed again, or is it still coming out? Do we know anything about that?
It's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll come out eventually.
Unlike Star Citizen. Bro. Why does people's
Every time
attraction to Star Citizen? What is it?
time someone says Star Citizen, I have to remember that that game is a thing.
The money that they raised, they're still flying off that cloud. I think they've gotten a couple of streamers to pull it up though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's the same shade of like Ashes of Creation scammers, you know, bullshit. It'll never be good.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. Is that
Ashes
news
of
to
Creation
you?
is having a real alpha.
I can't wait to fucking laugh at you for even considering that that's going to be anything but a huge joke.
I think, you know, we're getting well, I think it's even called a pre-alpha. It's not really even an alpha.
So this is the
but
second game that they're going to fail with the name Ashes of Creation, right?
Last Oasis is also in pre-alpha.
Yeah, and the not the graphics, but the
So
physics.
I think the thing is for Ashes that makes me believe in them is that they've had a roadmap since Kickstarter, and they've hit every milestone for that, and they've done a good job of it. And that's not the same thing for Star Citizen. Star Citizen had a roadmap, and they change it every 6 months, and then they add to it, and they've never added to the development scope for Ashes. And listen, I don't like the graphics of Ashes at all. I think it looks like I think it looks terrible. It looks worse than Last Oasis, which is saying a lot. So I don't think it's going to be like I don't think it's going to be the end all be all. I don't think it's going to be that. But as MMOs that are hopeful on the horizon, that's it. That's it. I mean, New World is going to be a happy little vacation, but that's not the next big MMO.
I will give you $100 when Ashes of Creation has an official launch and it is a accepted, viable choice as a completed MMO. I will give you $100.
Oh, I'm looking forward to getting paid.
I mean, that game is going to be a massive success for the first 3 months, regardless of what state it's in. It could be the worst failure flop of a game in history. It's still going to have millions of people playing for the first 3 months. It's just
right. So that's
at this
not
point, the hype train is like it has so much momentum. Like,
well, Tim's talking about a full release, like not alpha, not beta. He's talking about release, which will be in like 3 years from now. Yeah, it'll be like 3 years from now.
Yeah, I don't think the game's going to be another Star Citizen. I don't think it's going to never release. I just think that it's not going to live up to people's expectations.
I agree with you, Marlon. I think it's going to be under the expectations for sure.
I'll give you $20 if it ever fully releases.
Wait, whoa! We just got an 80% cut. Wait, why'd that happen? Why it went from 100 to 20?
No, you get 20 if it releases. Just releases, right? Like the 1.0 official release happens, and then I'll give you another 80 if it's actually a good game. Objectively, a good game, not like I think this is a great game. Tim.
I backed the Kickstarter, by the way.
I did too.
I backed the Kickstarter.
$150 in 2017.
I did. I think that I was going to do the tier that got me like the demon costume, and the reason I didn't do it, which was like I think like $1,000 or something, I don't know. But the reason I didn't do it, I had a full-time job back then. It wasn't a big deal, but the reason I didn't do it was because they didn't have an in-game screenshot of it yet. It only had like concept art, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be safe. I'm just going for the basic tier, and at least I can say that I backed the Kickstarter if the game actually does ever come out.
I don't care how many full-time jobs you have. If you spend $1,000 for a costume that doesn't exist as an asset in a game yet, that's a yikes.
Well, I just wanted to support the game because I believed in the idea that they represented, not necessarily the game itself. But yeah, I didn't do that because of the reasons that you
believe in the idea of every MMO. I don't think there's been any MMOs that I don't agree with the idea of, but about 3% of them are actually good.
So I'm skeptical.
100% of the idea is good.
I think it's healthy to be skeptical about this one for sure.
Well, I'm skeptical because the game that I back has already failed, and so now they're going back for round 2, right? The BR was a total disaster. But this is going to be...
No, that wasn't that. So you have to understand that they had 3 phases of testing that they wanted to do. The BR was one of those. That wasn't part of the actual release. That was not a release.
The BR. It wasn't serious.
Yeah, like you could if you look back at their original Kickstarter, they like I think it was after they had a Kickstarter funded. like the week after that, they released their plan to do. And you can look, they did an interview with Lazy Peon about it. And the developer said, "Hey, we want to do 3 different stages. We want to test one for gameplay, one for multiplayer."
Makes off of those affiliate links. He's got to just be swimming in ashes of creation money because they got that whole like affiliate pyramid thing where like once you recruit someone, if they recruit someone, you also get money, and then it like funnels up to you like you're like you're selling Avon or whatever it's called.
Yeah, what's your exit lag code again?
Hey.
Bro, I can't imagine how much money he makes off that shit.
I'm sorry to call you out on this, Potion, but you, sir, are a simp. You're ignoring blatant evidence of this being just.
Listen, I'm looking at all the facts. I'm looking at all the facts, and I've made my choice. All right, and we'll see what comes out. I'll make $20 next March, and I'll make $100 in about 3 years from now.
All right, just make sure that you use that money to give subs to the creator who's self-funding this through all this crowdfunding.
I'm going to use that money and make more music.
When he starts his Twitch stream, because his game's a fucking failure, and he plays Diablo 4 until his eyes bleed.
I don't know.
I do. It's okay.
Are there any other games on the horizon that we're paying attention to?
Bless
or they're worth it?
It's Unleashed.
Bless Unleashed.
That is your Sausins, by the way. That's your Sausins.
Hey, yes.
True.
At least you can go 2 hours without. Sorry. It was like 10 minutes, Potion. 10 minutes back on the podcast. It's like, Sausins!
Listen, they mentioned titles. I happen to be the Saucing King.
I think they should make a colored title just for you. The Saucin King. Definitely. Well, you play a sorceress, right? So the Saucin's Queen. We'll call you the Saucin's Queen. I don't really have any other games. I mean, I talk about it every week. I'm still... I think Last Oasis is actually... I didn't realize I was looking forward to, or that there would be a wipe, or that would be fun, or how bad the population was because of XYZ, but I think it's well established that at least Moreland and I are kind of suckers for fresh wipes. So when he said last week, hey, wake up early tomorrow for a fresh wipe of Last Oasis, I'm like, pull out my microphone, and I'm like, I'm ready, let's do it, homie. But more seriously, it's gotten me excited again for the New World, the next clean wipe and beta, public beta or whatever.
Oh yeah, did we miss a New World test? Didn't they have some shit going on?
They had a NDA one.
Yeah. So has anyone read any leaked NDA shit about what they've changed or?
No. I have a pretty good relationship with the developers. I don't want to ruin it, really. I'll say okay relationship. I maybe exaggerated a little bit. But yeah, I don't want to ruin that.
Simp.
Next test should be February. I think it's like February, March.
Did it go well?
I haven't played it at all.
Oh, I thought you were in the know.
No, I have.
Yeah, Elion has gotten surprisingly good reception.
Yeah,
since they like reformed it from Air and changed a bunch of stuff.
Blue was playing it yesterday. I was watching for a little bit.
Yeah, that might be fun.
The combat is meaningful. I think that's the main thing. Is like it actually, or not meaningful, impactful. So when you do your abilities, you feel like you're actually doing something really cool. It doesn't feel like free floating like a lot of other MMOs do, where you just like run around. Yeah, it has a very. I think it's similar to like Bless, BDO, and everything. Now it has your character has to stop, do an animation.
I would not say Bless and BDO are similar in their combat at all.
Well, I mean, they're in the right direction.
Please don't ever call anything meaningful in front of me again.
But yeah, Elion, I don't know. I think the main thing I don't like is this is a BDO knockoff, right? That's the feeling I get from everything in it. It's a BDO knockoff.
I think not really. Do you just think all Eastern games are knockoffs of each other? I mean,
well, they have pets in the game that you can buy. They have the life skills that BDO has. It has, I don't know.
What like gathering?
No,
Every
it
game
has gathering, cooking, and all that stuff. Yeah, but no other game had like it's just set up in a very similar way to Black
it has
Desert.
gathering and alchemy and cooking. Oh, that's
It has a battlefield
BDO
just like Red
definitely
Battlefield.
invented
I'm so uninterested in playing some Cacao Games
arenas.
game.
BDO invented arenas too.
Yeah, I just don't think it's. I just don't. If I was gonna have to choose between BDO or another game that plays just like BDO, I'd just play BDO.
For someone who is so on the Ashes of Creation train, you are oddly negative every time Elion comes up.
I haven't seen anything to make it like. I've not seen anything to make it promising.
Bro, Ashes of Creation is not even a game yet. What do you mean you haven't seen anything to make it promising?
So
I've seen a lot of things from Ashes that are promising. Like they're revamping game systems that failed in other games, and they're interesting and meaningful.
It doesn't exist. It's all concept. It's not promising.
Yeah, but Elion has real stuff.
An MMO I can make up a promising MMO right now on the spot. That doesn't mean it's ever going to exist.
well, wait, make a Kickstarter. Don't just make it up. And then
Don't give me an idea. He might actually do it.
and then go to your rich friend's room, her house, and do a live Q&A from the forums, and then make a couple $1 million. But to defend Potion Shop a little bit, I played that Guardian Tales game for a little bit, and they actually did take like, you know, the little symbol on the Black Spirit's head is like all over Guardian Tales. Like they did take things from Black Desert Online and put them into their little fucking mobile game thing. So I would not be surprised if we find assets or ideas or mechanics taken for BDO that are, you know, directly.
I'm sure we will. Every MMO rips off previous MMOs.
Well, Blue Hole originally made what was their game? Not Rift. What was their one?
PUBG.
No, well, they made PUBG, but the game before that was an MMO. Does it start? I think it starts with a V. They had like OK Combat.
Aeon?
Maybe it was Aeon. Anyway, they took the same assets from their previous MMO and put them in Elion. And when they did that, they've gone back and reworked all that stuff now and reworked the combat and stuff. But it's just a lot of stuff is just reused stuff that they're having to go back and rework one by one. So I just don't have a lot of promise for the game that is trying to copy Black Desert and also reusing their old assets. I just don't have a lot of faith in it. I mean, it's potential.
Like
it has
copying Black Desert and making it better has got to be one of the easiest things you could possibly do.
But it's Cacao Games, dude. That's the problem. They're gonna shit the bed.
It's Cacao Games and Blue Hole.
No, they're not the developer.
Blue Hole made PUBG, which is a terrible experience across the board, which is why Fortnite has demolished them in the market.
It's like dating a guy, right? So like you run into this guy and you're like, wow, you're a really cool guy. I want to marry you. And this guy is like, well, I had kids with another woman and I just yeeted out of that relationship because it fucking sucked. But I won't do that to you, baby. You're the real deal. That's what Cacao Games is. He's a scumbag dad that goes out for cigarettes and impregnates a bunch of women. That is Cacao Games. And when you need them, they don't answer Discord DMs.
Publishers in general.
Well, this is the experience I have with this publisher. I'm not trying to bring other people's publishers into this because I don't have that type of...
I just don't know why people care about publishers. They're like, oh yeah, all the publishers suck. None of them care about the game. They only care about money. They're all garbage. They're all.
No, I don't think publisher has a.
Why does it matter? There's not going to be who would publish this game that people would be like, oh yeah, I like that one. Like they're all bad. What's the big deal? Just the game's either going to be good or it isn't.
Like Elion, the reason I'm thinking about Elion the way I am because I remember all the WoW clones that came out for years. There were WoW clones coming out and they were all garbage.
Oh, WildStar, Rift, garbage.
WildStar and Final Fantasy 14 are the only two out of all of that, and they came like a decade later that were even halfway decent.
Don't talk shit about Rift. I will get in a physical altercation with you.
I didn't say anything about Rift.
I
don't think it was a WoW clone.
You left it out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a WoW clone. I think it was original idea, and New World is basically developed on the same premise of Rift in a lot of ways, and I'm a fan of New World too. I think it was original MMO, but didn't do as well because it had some flaws. That's not a problem.
It's basically WoW with some guy going, what if there was Rifts and we named it Rift?
I mean, it's a very original idea, though. To be fair,
Okay.
so I don't know. Like I think that when I look at Elion, I see the same thing that I saw with World of Warcraft. I see that they copied World of Warcraft for years, and none of them were any good. And I see Elion copying Black Desert, and I'm
Isn't that
figuring it's going to be the same.
like flying and shit? I just don't see where the copying Black Desert is coming in.
It's just in the ground combat. I think it's in between, like sort of like in between Arcade and Black Desert. It has like some pulls from a little bit of both of those. I don't see the promise in it. The air combat doesn't look interesting. The storyline could be good, but I'd have to play it to know. But the storyline doesn't hold me in MMO. That's not the long term draw.
I think
I, I
New
I don't know.
World.
I think it's gonna be like a bless. I think it's gonna be like Bless Unleashed. I don't think it's gonna be a bad game. I think it's gonna be a game that you go and play for a month and then you're done. And I think that's fine.
I think
I don't think it's just
I think New World's gonna offer a month or two of like really good kind of side game play, and then we'll wait for a wipe or a season or something like that. I think this
yeah.
Elion is a terrible idea that won't get off the ground except for like really hardcore
Would
Korean
you still say
style
that
MMO.
if Cal wasn't involved?
Yeah. No, I've looked at the game. It looks fucking terrible. It looks like an amalgamation of Aeon and BDO and Arcade and Blade and Soul and all these kind of like half-baked games that have their nice little niche communities and then just slam another combination of that together and hope that it prints out fucking cash from the Sims.
God, man, maybe it will though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I'm looking at all these
I
games,
mean, it will
all
make
these
money for sure.
we're so close to being good if the developers could just stop being completely unaware of what needs to be done. So I don't know, man. Like I don't feel like it's that hard to make one of these games good. I'm at least gonna give it a try.
Genshin Impact is a low quality Link or Zelda, right? With a little bit more mechanics and weebness put into it. And that thing printed fucking cash. It's not hard to make a game that makes money. I just don't think it's easy to make an MMO that does anything besides make you want to spend money. They're like getting it down to a fucking science. Like it's like pop MMOs are turning into fucking pop music, you know? Oh, this is catchy, but it's garbage, but it's stuck in your head. You want to listen, you got to listen to that song because it's stuck in your head because they figured it out. So,
yeah. I know. I agree with that.
thank you.
I think this is I have video games I put in two categories for MMOs. I put MMOs in a category where I play them and there may be a 1 month experience, which is fine. And there's MMOs that are going to last me years, which is what I'm looking for. And I think Elion, Bless Unleashed, New World, I don't think any of those are bad games or going to be bad games. I just think they're going to be games that are a 1 month experience, maybe 2 months, and then you're done. And while the game that I'm desiring to play is going to be a game that will be a multi-year experience potentially. And so it's not saying they're bad games. They're just not the type of game that an MMO player currently desires, I would say in most cases. You know?
I think the MMO player right now is hungry for literally fucking anything.
Yeah.
True. Actually true.
Anything else you guys want to talk about for the official cut of this?
I cannot wait for an announcement for New World, next open public test realm or whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Aftershock back, and we're gonna piss a lot of kids off. A lot of them.
I don't have anything else. What do you guys?
I think that's it. Let's wrap it up. I want to play Last Oasis. That was Nerds and Words episode 27. Special thanks to Potion Shop, who's not able to stream and got his computer together just so he could join us. Even though we're a little light on the WoW patch notes, we do have the Calpheon Ball coming up in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned. Did I say WoW patches? Oh, shit. I was thinking about... We were talking about WoW clones.
We'll edit it out.
Even though we're a little light on BDO patch. That was Freudian, I think. The Calpheon Ball will be coming out in a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that there's going to be plenty attached to that. So stay tuned. We do this podcast every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can check it out on Spotify or Potion Shop's YouTube. Either way, thank you for listening and have a great week.